Hey guys, Matt here. Tonight I'm going to talk to you briefly about how I'm running my deload this week. I'll come back with a video where I go really in depth on why you should deload from time to time and how to do that effectively. Tonight I'm just going to talk about how I'm running my own personal deload for this program that I'm running. So I tend to run my Mesocycles in 1 month cycles. So 4 weeks, and then I reassess at the end of the 4 weeks. Sometimes I'm feeling really good. I'm loving the exercises that I'm running. I'm progressing each and every week in all of the exercises that I'm running, and I want to go for another 2 weeks, 4 weeks before I reassess. At the end of this 4-week cycle, I'm ready for a change. I've got a couple of exercises that they're fine, but I'm ready to switch them up. Seated cable rows, I'm just feeling done with. I want to go to a barbell row. I'm feeling my right elbow bother me just a little bit on close grip benches. It's not bothering me at any other time. It's not bothering me after the set's done. It's not bothering me before. It's not bothering me out in my life. So it's not really a thing, but I am noticing it when I'm doing the exercise. And so it's starting to take some of the fun out of that exercise for me. So just a couple of little things I'm noticing that something about my body's telling me I want to switch things up, and mentally I'm just ready for something different. There's a lot of different ways that you can run a deload. What I don't like doing is a full week, cutting everything back so much that then when I restart my next mesocycle, I feel like I can't start at the volume that I want to. I'm not ready to handle the weights that I want to. Or I come out of that first workout just unbelievably sore. I like to avoid that. So if I pull back, if I deload too much, if I pull the volume way down, if I cut the weight way down, if I drop the reps really far back, I find that I only want to do that for probably 2 workouts and then restart. And that works well if I'm running an asynchronous program where the day of the week doesn't really matter. For this mesocycle, I've been running a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I'm really liking that. That's fitting really well with my lifestyle. So I don't want to deload Monday, Wednesday, and then be ready to start another program on Friday. So I want to deload this entire week. Also, with holidays coming up and the way that my work schedule is running right now, running a full week deload and starting it back over next week makes sense for where I'm at. But I want to avoid all of the things that I just talked about next Monday when I come into my new program. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting the volume in half. So I was 12 sets of quads. Throughout this mesocycle, I'm going to cut that down to 6, 12 sets of back, down to 6, 12 sets of chest, down to 6. And then I was doing a lot of side delt and trap work this time around, not much arms. That's another thing that I want to switch up. I want to throw a lot more arm work in, focus a little bit more on building my arms. And I'm going to cut the volume way back for my next mesocycle on my shoulders and my traps. So I'll cut the volume for everything that I'm doing in half, but I'm going to leave the weights the same, and I'm going to leave the reps pretty close to the same. So I was doing 4 heavy sets of squats. I'm going to do 2 heavy sets of squats, cut the volume. So I cut the volume down. I'm going to squat the same weight that I did throughout the mesocycle, but I'm going to cut the reps back a couple. So I finished with 4 sets of 8 last week. I went down to 2 sets of 6 tonight. That way my body's still feeling the weight. I feel like next week when I come in, I'll be ready to handle the weight again. I'll just up the volume and be ready to go. For my drop sets, I was doing 2 drop sets of squats in the 12 to 15 range. So today I just did 1 drop set of squats, same weight that I did last week, and the same number of reps. So that's how I'm going to run it throughout this entire week. I didn't feel like I needed to get up and get ready for any of my sets tonight. Mentally, the sets were very easy. The volume was way back. It was much, much easier. So it's going to give my mind a break. It's going to give my joints a little bit of a break. It's going to allow me to feel like I finished this mesocycle off. I'll spend this next week planning and preparing what it is I want to do next week, what I want my next mesocycle to look like. But like I said, because I'm keeping the weights and the reps pretty close to the same, even though the volume's coming back, I should be able to come in next week for whatever exercises that I'm doing. I should be able to jump right into the weight that I want to be using for the mesocycle and the reps that I want to hit on the first week in without coming out of that too unbelievably sore. So I'll come back with a much more in-depth video where I go into why you should deload and some different ways for how to do it. But If you've been running your cycle for quite a while, or you're feeling like you're in need of a change, or you're starting to notice that your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders, elbows, if they're starting to bother you a little bit, or it's just been a long time, right before the holidays, right now, this is a good time to take a deload, take a step back, let your brain refresh, let your muscles have a little bit of a rest, reassess what it is you want to work on, where you want to come back in at, maybe switch some of your exercises up, maybe switch your volume, switch up your rep schemes, and then come back in fresh a week from now. So if you kind of following along with what I'm doing, that's it. Cut the volume in half, leave the weights and the reps the same, do that for an entire week, and then we'll come back with something fresh and new next week. I am putting down in the description of these videos, I've got a download for you if you want to, that is, it's the tracking sheet that I use for tracking my weight. It's got a spreadsheet for both dropping weight and for gaining weight, and it's got the calculations that I put in every single week. So it's got where I track my steps, where I track my calories, and where I track my weight daily, and it's set up, it just adds everything up and averages it out for you, so it's really easy. I just do it on my phone, you can put it in, and then at the end of the week you'll see how you can kind of track your weight through that. I've also got a 5 or 6 page document in there that I detailed out that's focused more on the leaning out and the cutting side of things. So how to track your calories, how to set your calories, how to set your macros for proteins, carbs, and fats. So if that's something that interests you, something that you could use a little bit of help on, that's a free little deal down in the description. So have a great workout.